Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today is the day that we are going on our trip. We are traveling to my husband's home country. Me, my husband, and Mila, our daughter. We are all gonna travel to my husband's home country, which is Iraq. So we are gonna be traveling to Doha first, and then it's a transit in Doha, and then we fly from there to Baghdad, Iraq. So I'm super excited. It's been so stressful, like packing for a baby, yourself, a husband. Okay, he packed for himself, but packing for everybody for 6 weeks has been super hard because how do you pack 6 weeks into a couple of suitcases, honestly? But now finally everything is done. We are getting ready, and soon we are gonna grab a taxi and go to the airport. So my plan is that I'm gonna be filming and I'm gonna be making like a mini series when we are there, because we are gonna be there for 6 weeks, so it's a pretty long time to get some content and just enjoy another culture. So this is gonna be the first video of probably many. I don't know how many yet. It depends on how much material I have, but this is gonna be the first video in my traveling series. So I'm super excited and wish us good luck and a safe trip to Baghdad. You will of course be following along with me. I will try to film as much as I can, so yeah. This is what 6 weeks packed into suitcases look like. We have literally been struggling to not get our bags overweight, so we have really been packing, and now we finally have most of what we need for 6 weeks of traveling. Hello everyone. It is now a couple of days since we arrived here in Iraq, and I ended up not really vlogging anymore on the plane because it ended up being a lot of stress. Like, we had our transit in Doha and it was only an hour, and our first flight ended up actually being delayed, so we had to hurry a lot to the second flight, and there was just no time to pick up a camera and start filming. Then on the second flight I was so tired. It was a flight during the night, so I honestly just fell asleep on the flight, and it was also pretty short. So I ended up just falling asleep on the flight, and Mila was actually sleeping as well. So she was sleeping in my lap, and I fell asleep with her. So there was no time to film anymore on the plane, and I was thinking that I was just gonna film straight away when I got to our house, but I ended up not doing that as well, because when we arrived in Iraq at the airport, we just had to wait in line for a pretty long time, as you have to when you arrive as a non-citizen. You have to basically handle something with the visa. I don't really know, but you have to stand in line and wait, and there was a super long line, so we had to wait for super long. And then when we finally got out, we were waiting at the place where you pick up your suitcases and bags, and my husband's bag and Mila's bag were completely gone. They were nowhere to be found. So we were panicking, of course, because we had so much stuff with us. So it was literally full packed bags, and they were gone. We couldn't find them. And we, of course, thought that someone had stolen them, or that they had went to the wrong place, or that something had happened. So we pretty much panicked. Like, I thought somebody stole our bags. But luckily, the next day we found out that some random guy had just accidentally taken our suitcases instead of his own, because they looked a bit similar. Mind you, we actually saw these suitcases at the airport, and yes, they did look similar, but no, they did not look same. So I don't know how he did not know what his suitcases looked like. He just grabbed some suitcase that looked similar to his, and he didn't even check if it was actually his suitcases before he arrived at his house, which was many hours away from the airport. So I think he didn't even check until the next day, honestly, when he was about to unpack or something, which is so crazy that you don't even check your bags. But he ended up driving super long back to the airport to drop off the suitcases that was ours, and we finally got them, and I'm so happy that nobody stole them, because that was a panic that I never thought I would experience in life. But honestly, losing your suitcases, like if somebody would steal your suitcases, that's a panic that you feel inside of you. So yeah, we were super happy that we got them back, but all in all, everything was super fussy, and we also had to go back to the airport that was also like far away from the house. So we had to go back to the airport and pick the bag up the next day and blah blah blah. So that's why I did not film anything, or I didn't pick up a camera and talk to you all. But now I'm gonna try to be better at vlogging, and I did film some clips also that I will include, maybe, I think, maybe, let's see. But yeah, now I'm back, and now I'm gonna try to really film good. So yeah, I'm super tired right now, so I'm not gonna film anything more today. I just wanted to come here and tell you all what happened and why I did not film anything more on the flight. But the first flight went super smoothly. Honestly, the second flight also. Everything has been super good here so far. It's really nice to be in a different place than your own home for a while, and to be in a different culture. It's super nice, but I will talk more about that later. Now I will go to sleep, so good night, and see you all tomorrow. This one we cut off from this bush here, and we are gonna make a hair mask, and possibly also a face mask with it. It's like aloe vera bush. So we are gonna try to make a homemade hair mask from this, because I think it's really good for the skin and for the hair. We are on our way to go out shopping a little bit. It's actually the first time that we go out shopping here in Iraq, or not the first time ever. We did it last time as well, last time that we traveled here, but this is the first time that we're gonna go shopping on this trip. So we're really excited, and it's also a new shopping place. But I just need to say the traffic in Iraq is something different than we're used to. Like, if you're used to the traffic in the Nordic countries, then the traffic in Iraq is scary, to say the least. Like, I think that I'm gonna die at least once every single time I step out the door. And especially when we go driving somewhere, it's really, really honestly scary because people don't care about traffic rules here. Like, they drive in the middle of the street, they drive in the middle of two lanes, they cross in front of you, they don't give a shit, so to speak. So yeah, I will show you some clips of how the traffic looks. Just look. Something that I've definitely had to get used to when traveling to Iraq as a foreigner is that you stick out so much in Iraq as a foreigner, especially as a Nordic woman. It's something that's honestly a little bit surprising to me because here are actually not much tourists at all. Like, I feel like people don't travel to Iraq much, and I'm talking about Baghdad now. I don't know about other parts in Iraq at all, how it works there. I think many people maybe travel to the northern parts of Iraq more, but I am in Baghdad and I've traveled to Baghdad twice, and both of the times I have felt like a clown, like a literal clown in a circus, because the way that people stare, and it's not just men that are staring, it's also women, it's literally everybody. All of the locals here will stare at you if you travel to Iraq as a foreigner. It's honestly something that's been a bit hard for me to get used to because I'm such an introvert and I'm honestly a bit reserved. I wouldn't say that I'm shy, but I'm reserved as a person towards people that I don't know. So getting used to people literally staring at you all the time whenever you go out has been a little bit of a challenge, or I would say it's like different from what I'm used to. And it's not really surprising because people in the Nordic countries, you know, we have a lot of different ethnicities and we have people looking super diverse, I would say. We have like blonde people, there's black-haired people, there are brunettes, you know, there's all kinds of different hair colors, to be honest, and also skin colors, honestly, these days in the Nordic countries. So I kind of understand when it comes to Iraq, especially Baghdad and especially certain parts of Baghdad, there are no foreigners. So whenever they see somebody that is a foreigner, probably completely different looking to them, then they will stare and they wonder probably, where's she from? Who is she? What's she doing here? I would say that 90% of people here, 99%, like almost everybody, are born with black hair and brown eyes. So for them, it's really special and really different when somebody is not black-haired and have lighter eyes and lighter skin color than most people here. And I'm not even that blonde. Like, I literally, well, now I have a bit lighter hair than last time I was here, but last time I had dark brown, almost black hair when I came here, and still people were staring. Like, they could see me from far away. They saw that I'm not from around here. I don't know if it's my style or something, but they could see from far away that I'm a foreigner, I'm something different, and they just stare at me. This time I would say it's maybe even worse because I have a bit lighter hair, so I stick out even more, but I always think about how it would be to be, you know, a super blonde, like really platina blonde, white girl with blue eyes or really light features. How it would be to walk out on the street here, because I already feel so different, so I wonder how an actual blonde woman would feel like here. When me and my husband were in the mall earlier, there came a woman to talk to him because she knows who he is. So she came and just said, "Oh, hi, it's you, and how are you, and blah blah blah." And when she stopped us, there was literally like 10 people around us who all just stopped their shopping, stopped their talking, stopped whatever they were doing, and they all just turned to us like an audience and just stared at us. I don't know if they thought that we were like some kind of celebrities just because she stopped us, you know, and talked to him, but it was so awkward. Like, I feel so awkward in these situations when people stare at me, especially when there's many people in a group staring at me. I feel so awkward. Like, it's really something that is hard for me to get used to, because in the Nordic countries, I feel like, especially in Finland, I don't know how it is actually in the other Nordic countries when it comes to this, but living in Finland, everybody who lives in Finland, you know that people even avoid eye contact as much as possible. Like, people don't generally stare a lot, or they don't generally talk to you or, you know, say anything. They don't smile to you in the streets. So getting used to people staring at you like this is definitely a culture shock for me. I also want to point out that I am not wearing a hijab, but actually there is many people that I see, especially around certain areas of Baghdad, who do not wear hijab. So not all people wears a hijab here, even if I know that that's how European countries view Iraq. Like, they think that all women are just walking around fully covered all the time, but there are actually many people who walk around with the same type of style that we have in the Nordic countries. So it's not even that makes me stick out. Of course, in some areas there are people who are more covered, and then there are certain areas where people are dressed more like European type of style. So I don't even think that's why they are staring at me, because many people will probably point out that, oh, maybe it's because you don't wear hijab, but no, it's not because of that. There are a lot of women here who are just not covered. They have their hair loose, just like we do in Europe as well. So I just wanted to say that that's not the reason either. So yeah, if there's somebody from Europe who are thinking to travel to Iraq, then I would definitely say that be prepared to be stared at, be prepared for people to ask. Like, there was literally a woman in a clothing store who went to my husband's mom and asked her, like, oh my god, where is she from, who is she, like, what's she doing here? So people are really amazed with foreigners. Of course, there are people who don't like foreigners. Yeah, like, you can see that they don't like me being here. But there are also so many that are amazed and happy, and I would say that most people are actually super welcoming towards foreigners, but they are also really surprised to see a foreigner. So if you're planning to travel to Baghdad, Iraq, then be prepared to be sticking out of a crowd and be looked at. I'm having a little bit flu, that's why my voice sounds probably super strange right now. I have, for some reason, gotten flu, like the whole family, even Mila has gotten flu. But I just wanted to come on here and end my first vlog slash video. I think it's more of a video actually, not a vlog, because it's a video from more than one day. I actually don't really know, but I think it's a video more than a vlog, but it doesn't really matter, does it? Anyway, when I was editing, I realized that I didn't really have an ending for the video, so I just wanted to come on here and say good night, everyone. Hopefully you have enjoyed watching this first traveling series video that I did. It's part one, and I'm probably gonna make many parts of this traveling series when I am in Baghdad, Iraq. So it's honestly super fun to make these videos, so I hope that people enjoy watching it. I hope that it gives you a better picture of what Iraq actually looks like, because that's actually why I wanted to do these videos, because I feel like I had such a different view of how Iraq would look before I traveled here. I know many people who literally asked, like, where's the desert, when they saw pictures, because most people seem to believe that Iraq is mostly desert. But there are actually normal people, and you know, they are people here as well. Muslims live similar lives to everybody else, even though people sometimes refuse to believe that. So yeah, it's a different culture, but in the end, we are all just humans living on the same planet. And with those wise words, I'm gonna end my first vlog or video, vlog slash video. So I hope that I will see you in the next part of my traveling series. Goodbye!